Have you ever wondered what the world might look like if Europeans had never colonized what we now call the United States? Not just a different flag or language, but a completely different timeline. Cities with names you've never heard. Borders that were never drawn. Civilizations that never collapsed. Let's pull the right thread in time and see what unravels. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy thinking about what the world could have been. In this world, Columbus never landed, nor did Cortez, nor the Mayflower. The great civilizations of the Americas continued to evolve, uninterrupted. The Mississippian culture, centered around Cahokia, grew into a vast trade and knowledge empire, connecting what we now call Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Rather than being destroyed, cities like Cahokia became hubs of astronomy, architecture, and philosophy. To the west, the Chumash peoples of coastal California expanded their maritime networks, developing wind-powered vessels that crossed the Pacific. They formed cultural alliances with island nations and the Ming dynasty, not out of conquest but curiosity. Farther south, the Aztec and Inca empires didn't fall, they merged. What emerged was a federated superstate, combining agricultural innovation with highland engineering. Instead of gold being stolen and melted down, it was used to inscribe poetry and medical knowledge. The Americas became a network of nations, not primitive tribes, but sovereign powers with writing systems, libraries, and urban centers. Without European colonization, the very concept of America looked different. The continent wasn't named after Amerigo Vespucci. Instead, the land was known by its many regional names: Turtle Island, Abaya Yala, Seminowak, each with its own meaning, each still spoken. What we now call New York still bears its Lenape name, Lenapehoking, meaning land of the real people. It's a forested coastal metropolis, with vertical gardens and canals in place of highways. Washington, D.C., never built. Instead, the capital of a pan-national council sits atop the ancient site of Cahokia. Its platform mounds extended into shimmering ziggurats, powered by solar obsidian. Los Angeles, known as Yanga, a cultural beacon where spoken word poetry is valued above economic growth, where time is measured in lunar cycles, not quarterly profits. In this world, maps are not redrawn by war, but by negotiation and migration. Borders breathe, languages live, land is not owned but shared. Without European colonization, English never became the default. Instead, North America thrives in multilingual harmony. From the trading ports of Kansas, now known as Kansas City, to the ceremonial cities of the Hopi Plateau, people speak fluent Lakota, Nahuatl, Navajo, and many more. Language schools teach both heritage and hybrid tongues from childhood. Religion evolved differently. Instead of a dominant monotheism, spiritual diversity is embraced. Sacred groves, sky ceremonies, and solstice gatherings are national holidays. Science and spirituality coexist, neither forced to displace the other. The continent is no utopia. Conflicts arise, borders shift, but negotiation, not domination, defines the geopolitics of these United Nations of Turtle Island. Contrary to colonial myths, technological advancement didn't require conquest. Here, innovation came through observation, adaptation, and deep memory. The Pueblo peoples perfected geothermal heating systems using volcanic stone. The Haudenosaunee Confederacy developed early democratic councils with decentralized power systems. In our world, they inspired parts of the U.S. Constitution, yet were never credited. In this alternate timeline, these ideas were never stolen. Instead, they evolved. Spirituality and science walked together. Mayan astronomers would predict solar events with staggering accuracy, while shamans would have used bioacoustics to heal trauma. Medicine combined plant-based remedies with brainwave mapping. Education wasn't standardized, but personalized. Children learned from elders and constellations, through experience and trust. Schools didn't have bells. Instead, they had wind chimes. This world wasn't stuck in the past. It honored the past to build the future. And what about the rest of the world? Europe, having missed its colonial foothold, turned inward and its imperial ambitions delayed. It basically diminished. Without the influx of stolen resources, it experienced longer periods of internal struggle. Some kingdoms fell, others evolved. Eventually, a European cooperative formed. It would not have been something like our modern EU. Their economies relied more heavily on trade with Asia and North Africa, not conquest. In Africa, the Songhai Empire rose to unprecedented heights, stretching from the Niger River to the Atlantic coast. Gold didn't leave the continent. It stayed to fund education, city building, and naval expansion. Timbuktu became the Silicon Valley of this world where coders wrote in Ajami scripts and AI programs were trained in multiple languages. In Asia, the Ming dynasty remained unchallenged by Western gunboats. Instead of retreating inward, they launched maritime alliances with Polynesian, Californian, and Andean nations. The Pacific was no longer a barrier, it became a bridge. By the early 21st century, the world's power centers weren't based on conquest, but on collaboration. The Global Sky Treaty, a climate agreement between 48 sovereign nations of the Americas, prevented the worst of global warming. Instead of extraction, nations focused on regeneration, drawing knowledge from thousands of years of land-based traditions. Even space was different. The first moon base? It was Tamapak, a Hopi, Maori, and Yoruba joint venture that was built through indigenous-led cosmic exploration. Not a flag on the surface, but a stone tablet carved with prayers in 12 languages. And the United States, as we know it, never existed. But something else did. A continent of color, of wisdom, of continuity, of living memory. So, what would you call this world? Would you visit it? Live in it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love exploring the worlds that could have been, hit that like button and subscribe to What If Worlds Were Different. And as always, keep on dreaming with us.